Good morning, everyone. We are live here at Horizon Hobby HQ.
Hello.
To talk about some Spektrum goodies, primarily the DX8e, which was just announced yesterday, but we did want to bring a couple other items to talk about. So as we're building up our crowd here on both YouTube and Facebook, we'll talk about some, kind of summarize everything, maybe answer some questions right away.
Yeah.
So right now, if you got anything, go ahead and start pumping them into the comment section on Facebook. I have that on my phone, and then also on YouTube if you're watching. Just start leaving us some questions. So, Tom?
So if you guys are anxious to know about the AE, this is a good time to ask those questions. We're also going to cover a couple of product updates that have been recently put out there. So, yeah, just kind of letting people kind of bundle in and get ready for this. As you can see, we've got a couple of things on the table here. I've got my iX12 box. This is new, so we'll talk about that. And the iX12 is here just for the box, but also to talk about an update for the iX12. We're also going to talk about an update for the AR636 receivers, which is exciting. We have a new programmer for that. It's a PC programmer, so we'll talk about that. And the 8E, of course.
Yes.
So how many people we got going so far?
Just a couple.
Just a couple?
Yeah, we'll keep
okay.
going a little bit here.
So let's kind of just talk for a little bit then. I have myself, and my buddy Pete are going to the Indianapolis Hobby Town tomorrow. So if you guys are in that area and you want to talk to some Horizon folks, come visit us. We're going to be there from 1 to 4. That's the Indianapolis North Hobby Town.
You guys are going to have any interesting goodies from Spektrum?
We are. We're going to have Spektrum stuff. We're going to have ECX stuff to play around with, Blade stuff to fly and demo. We'll have some promo stuff to give away. So if you guys like free stuff, come out. Yeah, it should be a good time.
Yeah, looks like we got some stuff building up now. I know one of the main questions I've been seeing on my end is, kind of A, why is the 8E better than the 6?
Okay.
And B, how is it different from the DX8 as it stands right now?
Well, I guess it depends on who you are and what you need. The 8E is to serve the customer that needs 8 channels but is budget conscious. They want something that's they're not going to spend 300 plus on, but they need that 8 channels for flaps, retracts, flight modes, lights, bomb drops, all those kinds of things. Safe select, yes. So if you're a big bind and fly customer and you like to, buy the AT Texan, it is a 6-channel plane because it's got retracts and flaps, but it also needs a 7th channel for safe select. So that's why we have the AE. So to make that plane more accessible and better to use with an 8-channel radio. So this is a $200 radio. Right here, and it has everything you need for those 7 channels, plus 1 for whatever you want to add to it. I like to do a bomb drop on warbirds. That's a lot of fun. But beyond that, between the 8 and the 8E, it doesn't have voice, so that's one big thing that you'll see is different. So you can't set up telemetry warnings where it will tell you what your voltage is every 20 seconds or whatever. You can't have telemetry warnings where it's going to beep at you, so if you get below a certain point, it'll start beeping at you. But beyond that, it doesn't have a diversity antenna. It has a single antenna. Diversity antennas are better for just better antenna propagation. You can look into that. So all the Gen 2 radios have a diversity antenna. So keep that in mind. Really, for warbirds, airplanes, I really don't think you need it. It's more for FPV guys that need that extra propagation, that extra reception.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Got Ethan on YouTube asking how many models does it have, and I know that's 250.
Oh, yeah, 250 plus, and it's expandable with the SD card. 250 is kind of our standard now. It's been that way since the DX9 was released 3 or 4 years ago.
I really want to see someone's radio with 250 models on it.
Mine, I've had up to 80.
That's not even close.
I know. But, I have a lot of models.
I want to see that. Same thing with the Surface guys.
Yeah.
I want to see a radio with that many models.
Right,
that
even
awesome.
the DX5R and 5C and the 6R, you can put up to 250 or more. So it just depends on how you want to store those onto the SD card.
Next question, Robert on YouTube. Will it have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth?
The 8E?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No. If you want to update it, you use the SD card.
Okay.
It's real simple to do. You just register it on Spektrum RC and download the update from there. We have a couple of videos on that if you need to learn more. So no Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Only radios that have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are our smart line radios like the iX12 and the DX6R, which we don't have displayed here. So
I'm watching myself play with this pen. English Tech Guy on YouTube, when is it out, the DX8e?
The DX8e comes out, we are looking at early to mid-May.
Oh, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner. Early to mid-May, $199, so get it in pre-order right now if you guys are looking to get one.
Okay, that answered actually a couple of them here. Let's see, let's jump over to Facebook, see if there's any. Someone calling you out here.
Oh yeah, one of my buddies?
Yeah.
Yo!
Let me see if there's anything else. Voice control, we answered that. When is it out? We answered that. When will you guys ever have a chat about the Surface RCs?
Okay.
Coming up.
Oh, are we talking about Surface radios? Because we could.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, actually, while we wait for more questions, again, keep the questions building. We could mention the new firmware updates for both the DX6R and the iX12 that just went out.
Yeah. So last week we had a update for the DX6R. It's a big update. If any of you guys have been looking at the DX6R or you own a DX6R, you've noticed that it is only DSM-R, which is our latest modulation. It's a great modulation, compatible. So if you have a bunch of DSM-2 receivers, you weren't able to use them with your DX6R. Now you can with this update. So you update your DX6R using the Google Play update, and you'll have DSM-2 access. There's a couple of other added little features there, but that's the big one.
Yeah, and Tom and I actually shot a quick video, actually yesterday, using my own personal 6R. Probably have that up early next week to show you guys really how easy it is.
Yep.
It's like, even with our Wi-Fi signal, I think total it was like a 5-minute update.
Yeah, I mean, if you got good Wi-Fi, it'll download, I think it's like a I think it's like a 40 megabyte download. It's real quick. And it does it itself. You don't have to do any kind of registration or type in any numbers. You just hit update, and you're good to go.
Now, the iX12, I didn't look into as much for the firmware because I don't have one, but you want to talk about how we updated with that as well?
I mean, that's going to be a lot. So let's get something off the table real quick. We'll talk about the iX12 update here in a minute. So as you see on the table, we've got the iX12 box. So by popular demand, we have the iX12 aluminum carrying case. It's a lot like the DX9 black case in that, and we'll kind of open it up here and look inside. This other latch. So it's got room for one radio and room for batteries and other accessories that you need. If you're running a Crossfire like I am, you will have to kind of cut out a piece of it, which is not a big deal, just a sharp knife to get it in there. Please don't cut yourself. And that's great. That's what it is for your iX12. And also, we have a screen protector that comes with the box. So you get a free screen protector. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, they can.
It is a tempered glass, scratch-resistant and smudge-resistant screen protector. I've actually got it on my iX12 right now, and it looks great. I love it. And I feel like actually one complaint that we've seen is like it's hard to touch in the corners. I feel like it makes it easier to touch things that are in the corners of the radio. So that's cool.
Good.
So that box should be available around the same time as the 8E, early May, mid-May, somewhere around there. So if you want one, get one on pre-order.
I know another thing we could talk about real quick. We still get a lot of people wanting to buy the iX12s, and they see it's just back. We have so many people buying them.
Yeah.
Do we know kind of the ETA and the next shipments and stuff?
We get a shipment at least once a month, sometimes twice a month, but they're just all back ordered.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of, I'm guilty of this as well, don't want to back order something. Oh, I'll wait till it comes in, but literally we back order them, and as soon as we catch up and ship them, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone the day we get them.
So,
I mean, looking at it right now, I mean, unless people see this video, you're like, oh, I gotta have one. We'll probably have open stock in April, or not April, but May, maybe late April. But I mean, it's hard to say.
check your local shops as well.
Exactly. That's what I would say, is check your local shops. We will have, or they will have one. That's the biggest buyers of these, is the local shops, is they're buying them up so that they can sell them to you guys. So look at your local hobby shop, RC Hobbies, Hobby Town, all those guys. Get one on order through them. They'll probably have one more quickly than you could through us. Yeah. Hate to say it, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
At least until we get that back orders go through.
We help out everyone. So, a couple more YouTube questions have popped up. Robert asked, will there be two SKUs, a transmitter only and one that comes with a receiver for the 8?
Yeah, good question. The 8E.
8, sorry. Yeah. I'm looking at the back here.
The 8E is transmitter only. So we are really just kind of banking on the fact that people are going to be buying this as their second radio. They've already got receivers. They've got a bunch of bind and fly planes. So it's going to be a TX only for $199.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Is wireless trainer capable? I know this answer, but I'll let you handle that one.
Oh, you want to do it?
No, I just know the answer is yes.
So it is wireless trainer compatible. So that means that it can connect to FPV headsets that have the wireless trainer and your other radios. It does not have a wired trainer port, just like the 6E. It does not have a wired trainer port, which is kind of going the way of the Dodo. But you know, if you really need a wired trainer port, that's another reason to get a 6 Gen 2 or an 8 Gen 2.
There you go. Okay. Let's see.
One thing that I like about these guys is they're super durable. I mean, really, I feel like this is one of the most durable air radios we've had. In that the antenna, it does flex like this, but it's real stout. The casing's really stout, so if you guys already own like an IX12 or a DX8e, and you just need like a backup radio or something for your kids to fly with, great radio. This or the 6E, they're both really durable.
Couple questions from Facebook now.
Sure.
Paul Taylor's asking, does the case come with the IX12? And then someone else asks, is the case optional? So I think you can kill those two questions.
Oh, okay. So
going back to the IX12, sorry for
back to
jumping
the
back
case.
and forth. But
The case is separate. It is $75 separate. So,
okay.
And at this point, we don't plan on bundling it or anything like that. I mean, if they're super popular and there's a lot of demand for it, we might. So if that's what you like, let us know.
Awesome. And backlit screen, Robert asks on YouTube for the 8.
Sure, let's check
Going
it
back
out.
to the 8.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is backlit screen.
Angle it down a little bit. There you go.
Yeah. It is a backlit screen. It is LiPo compatible. You can put our two-cell LiPo in it as well. So it works just fine.
And it comes with, what, 4 AA's?
It comes with a AA holder. I'll show you guys this. Just like that. See, AA's. And you can pull this holder out, and there's a plug for the LiPo battery. I guess while we're on the back here, if you guys aren't familiar with the 6E, the 8E has this neat switch on the back that allows you to change modes right on the radio. You don't have to take it apart, open it up, change any kind of hardware. You can move this switch here to change the modes. So you gotta center the stick and push it over. So now that's center sprung, so both the sticks are center. This is great for guys that are like, they like to do scale tractors or boats, things like that. So, and we can flip it over to...
Some Surface guys still use sticks.
Exactly. And then we can go to mode 1, like that. So now the right stick is not center sprung. Real simple. Works great.
One thing I just did highlight here, we haven't had a question, but bringing up another feature of the 8E is that it does have FPV race lap timing.
Yeah, so that's one of the products that we came out with about 6-8 months ago, is our own lap timing system. It works with the surface and air stuff, and this is compatible with that. Also, the other radios, the Gen 2 radios are compatible with that also, but actually the IX12 isn't. It's something that we're working on, but so it has a lap timer screen, and you can actually do segments of a lap timer. So like if you guys are familiar with normal lap timers like the TBS lap timer, you've got one point to cross. What's cool about our lap timing system is you can do segments. So you got like a back bend that you want to know how fast you're going on, you can use it for that. So it is an IR-based lap timing system. Just look up Spektrum lap timer and you'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still waiting. Robert also asked telemetry, question mark?
Oh yeah, absolutely. AD has telemetry. I mentioned it earlier. It doesn't have voice output, so you can't set it up to where it'll tell you what your parameters are on the fly, but you can have it so that it'll beep at you once you get down to a certain warning, and it'll display on the screen.
Looking through all our notes here while we wait for more questions. Again, all this is going to be visible after we're done, and it'll all be on horizonhobby.com. So if we forget anything or you jump on just as we're closing down, rewatch it or jump on our website as well.
And post this video. What we're going to do is we're going to, like I mentioned, the AR636 update that has a new programmer. We'll make a link to that programmer so you can download it. Actually, let's talk about that programmer real quick. So I don't have a 636 here, but if you have a 636A that came out of, let's say, like a Timber, and you want to use it in a different plane, you used to have to send it in to be flashed with a different firmware, or buy a receiver and have it flashed with that firmware. That is no longer the case. You can buy or you can get the Spektrum programmer. You don't have to buy it. It's actually free, but you have to have the USB cable, and we'll have a link to that. The Spektrum program, it's a PC programmer that you can use to change the firmwares on your AR636s, and that includes the A versions. So you can change your 636A back to open stock and use it like you would an open stock 636. You can put different safe select presets onto it. So like, let's say you have a Timber and you want to take that receiver out because you just destroyed it. Hey, you want to buy an AT6 Texan plug and play, and you can throw that in there using that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had one question pop up about the speaker on the iX12, the volume. I know we covered that. I believe it was in a Q&A, but did you do a separate tech video on that or no?
I mean, I mentioned it in one of my tech videos.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to get the most out of this speaker, you want to go to the Android settings and turn it up there, because it's not going to be turned all the way up.
There's two separate volumes, if I remember right. There's the actual in-app volume and then the actual settings volume.
Right. So turn both of those all the way up, and then it's pretty substantial. I believe we've actually, with some of the later updates, we've made it a little bit louder.
Okay.
It's not super loud. It is just a single mono speaker. But it does allow you to Bluetooth headphones to it, or plug-in headphones. So if you really need to be able to hear what's going on and there's a lot of noise around you, headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe we should do a quick recap just in case. So price point, when's it going to be available? Any, obviously it's 8 channels, 250 model memory. Any other kind of big things you wanted to mention here?
So, I mean, between this and the 8 or the 6E, one thing you'll notice is it has a knob on it. A lot of people ask me, what's a knob for? This guy here.
Yep.
Knobs for changing gains on the fly. So if you're using AR636 or an AS3X receiver, you can assign this knob to a channel to adjust those gains while you're flying. I like to use it for that. Or you could use it for whatever you need to put on a potentiometer, something that's incremental like a knob. So I can't really think of much else beyond gains. That's what I use it for mostly. But I guess you could set up a like a pan tilt camera to do that with. So
One other question, when will the Crossfire adapter be available?
So, I get this question all the time. The Crossfire adapters have been available for quite some time. A lot like the iX12 itself, they sell out really quick. So if you really want to get one, like I said with the iX12, check with your local hobby shop, look online. A lot of the FPV-esque websites are buying them up in large quantities. So check out those guys.
And is that the same for the 8E as well, or?
I wouldn't say so, no. So the Crossfire adapter, he's talking about this guy here.
Right.
So there's an adapter on the back. You can make them, but the plug's a little hard to get. So, but beyond that, yeah, check your local places, see if they've got them. Just like the iX12, we get a bundle of them in once or twice a month, and we ship them out immediately. So, sorry about the holdup on that. The cables that go to the Crossfire are a little hard to get a hold of, so we can only get small quantities.
Another question here. Oh, it just got retracted.
Oh, okay. maybe I answered it.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much everything. Again, everything's going to be online, and if we didn't mention something, still drop the question in the comment, because we tend to still look at these for the next, a little bit of time. So, I think we're going to go ahead and close it out here. Thanks again to Tom from Spektrum.
No, we got more to talk about.
What are we talking about?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
What are you talking
about? So, I didn't really get a chance to talk about the iX12 update. So this is a big update for the iX12.
That's right. You sidelined it with the case.
I did.
Uh-huh.
But if you guys have questions about the 8E, please just chime in. We'll answer them. So maybe you're wondering why I have a quad up on the table. So the iX12 now supports Crossfire telemetry. There is one little bug, though, I want to mention, is that with the original Crossfire connection, the travels for beta flight, you had to turn up to 144 or something like that. You'll notice that you'll have to turn that down to 125%. So just kind of keep that in mind. Hopefully you FPV guys are watching and you're trying that out and you're like, oh, hey, that's how I fixed that. And then for RSSI, you want to use dBm, not percentage. Percentage is not calculated properly because it's calculated per our receivers and not theirs. It's something we're working on, so just kind of keep an eye out for the next update. And so on top of that, vocal reporting of RSSI is not going to be correct. So on-screen stuff's correct with dBm. So keep that in mind. But the biggest thing that I really like about the new iX12 update is we have a new sleep mode. Well, it's not new, but it's a reworked sleep mode in that it puts the radio into what we would like to call a hibernate mode. I've got no data here. I'll just mute. So, just like you would before to put it into sleep mode, you double tap the power button, and I'm on Crossfire, but you would have a list of things here. A couple new things you'll see is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth will want to be turned off. So we'll press and hold. And now we're going to sleep. And like before, the light up top will kind of pulse a little bit, and then it'll blink a few times and go out. When it blinks a few times and goes out, that's how you know you've gone into full sleep or hibernate mode. In this mode, it will last for very long periods of time. Just essentially, it's turned off at this point. It's not pulling really any energy at all. So, let's see. Yep, my light's off, so it's in hibernate mode. And it's just the same as before with quick sleep. You just tap the power button, and we're on again. So.
And that kills the RF signal.
It does. It turns off RF, turns off Wi-Fi, turns off the screen, turns off Bluetooth. All that stuff needs to be turned off. And if you guys want to know more about that, read our change log. I'll have a link to that in the YouTube. And I guess we can put it on the Facebook.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll be on the website as well under the specs.
Another thing that we'll go over is there is a new direct model access screen. So if you want to change models, we've got the top model here. So I'm on my Rooster. You press and hold here. When you press and hold, it goes straight to the model access screen. Before you would have to, and I'll kind of show you guys, you would have to tap the button, press and hold here, select the model. So let's say we go to my ELF, select, and we would have to wait for it to load or save and load. Now with direct model access, you just press and hold, select the model, hit proceed, and it loads it up. So it saves a couple of button presses in a little bit of time. It takes about 15 to 20 seconds to change models, whereas going the old way, it took about 40 seconds. So that's a good one. Also, some of you guys that are really into telemetry with your iX12, we fixed the file logging, so that works perfectly well. So that means that you can save file logs, telemetry logs to your SD card and review them on your computer later. So that's pretty cool. Any questions on that?
No, and if you're just now hopping on and wondering why we have an iX12, there was just a firmware update released Friday, correct?
Yep, there was a
Or not
firmware
Friday.
update.
Today's Friday. Yesterday.
Yesterday, we released it. We sent out, we had social media blast. We have an email going out as well to inform you guys. But I just kind of went over the top bullet points for what those changes are, what we added on the iX12.
And this is just a Wi-Fi based update.
It is, just like the 6R.
Right.
You just update it through Google Play. Go back here. All right.
One other question, Ethan on YouTube. How do you set up throttle cut on the 8E?
Oh, sure, we can go through that. It's real simple. I'm trying to think it's got a touch screen, but it doesn't. I've been using an iX12 for a while. So we have a throttle cut menu, real simple, just like that. I don't know if we're on here.
No, not yet.
All right.
There we go.
So you just go to the main screen, and you click, and you go down to throttle cut, tap on that. It'll say inhibit. Go down to where it says inhibit. And this is just like this with any of our other Gen 2 radios. What I like to do is you just go to inhibit, where it's got that box blinking around it, flip a switch, and it assigns it for you. And now you've got throttle cut set on that switch. Real simple.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Reggie's asking, can I slow down the flaps or gear servos with this model to make it look more realistic?
Absolutely. Yeah, servo speed's there, and in the flap menu, you have a flap speed as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything else here.
Servo speed's in the servo setup menu, so if you're kind of looking around for it, it's going to be one of the menus in servo setup.
Tim on Facebook referencing the iX12 want to know if there's any chance of an option to change sleep on the iX12 to a single button press rather than the double.
No. So the reason we have it as a double, it's a safeguard to keep you from accidentally turning off your radio. So you don't ever want to do that. Yeah.
Especially if you have something in the air, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Another hello. I think we've pretty much got it all. So are we good to close now? You covered everything you wanted?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, there's new firmware for the 6R and the iX12.
Yep.
We answered a ton of questions on the DX8e.
And then we talked about the AR636 update.
And the iX12 case.
And the new iX12 case. So if you guys have an AR636 and you want to update it, get the USB cable if you don't already have it, and look up the AR636, or go to the link below to download the new Spektrum programmer. It's really cool.
Awesome. Well, once again, thanks, Tom, for coming in here.
Thank
and
you,
thank you
Kyle.
guys for joining in and watching. And keep those questions coming. We'll keep answering them. Otherwise, we'll see you again next time.
Okay.